time for Tales with Tosinger. Tell me what time it is. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Tell me what time it is. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. Hello, everyone. Woo! Happy New Year. Happy 2023. I hope you all have been having a great start to the year. I am so grateful to be alive. One more time, continuing Tales with Tosinger, African folk tales. You already know the vision of Tales with Tosinger for several generations. Stories from Africa have traditionally been passed down by word of mouth ever so often. You know, after a hard day's work, adults will gather the children together by the moonlight or around the village fire and tell a story. And these traditional tales by the moonlight are meant to prepare young people for life, and each story has a moral lesson. We're going to go all the way to Tanzania, and I'm going to be sharing a story with you titled The Calabash Kids. It's from a tribe in Tanzania called Chaga, Chagga. So the Calabash Kids is a Chaga story. When I say story, you say story. When I say once upon a time, you say time. Story. Once upon a time. Awesome. You guys have not forgotten. You're good. You're doing great. So the Calabash story, like I said, is a story, a Chaga story. The Chaga are a tribe who live near Mount Kilimanjaro in the north of Tanzania. And the story tells of a very lonely woman. So once upon a time, there was a woman. Her name is Shindo. Shindo was a recent widow. Her husband had passed and she had absolutely no children. And she always prays every day to the mountain spirit for children to love and care for her and to help her with her chores. So one day, the mountain spirit gave her some seeds to sow, and she looked at it, was like, seeds, what am I gonna do with the seeds? Anyway, I'm just gonna obey and sow the seeds. And then she sowed the seeds, and from the seeds the gourds grow. And Shindo used these gourds to make calabashes. So she will harvest them and dry them out in the sun, and when they're hardened, she takes them to the marketplace and sells the calabashes. So there was a day she laid out all the calabashes, and guess what? The calabashes changed into children. And there's this particular one that she placed by the fire. So every time she goes to the market, all the calabashes turn into children, and they start to help clean the house. They wash the plates, they sweep the floor. Guess what? They even prepare a meal ahead of time. So she gets home, she sees everywhere just clean and well made up and food prepared. And then her neighbors were like, oh, we see all those children helping you. Where do they come from? And she was like, she never saw any child. She doesn't have any children helping her. So all the neighbors kept saying the same thing. So one day she decided to hide and watch out. So there was this particular calabash that she wanted to keep for herself. She placed that one by the fire. And so it was separated from the rest of the calabashes. And because she wanted to use that particular calabash, she actually named that one. She named that calabash Kitete. So Kitete was permanently by the fire. So one day, the day she wanted to discover who cleansed the house, she hid herself and she actually watched the gourds change into human beings. And she was like, oh my God. And then she came out and they all saw her. But now that the children now know that, oh, their mom now knows their secret, that is the calabashes that change into children, they became more relaxed and they helped her. She didn't have to hide, and she didn't have to step away from the house for them to change into children. But Kitete did nothing. Kitete was close by the fire, and all Kitete did was smile. So she named the calabash that's near the fire Kitete. Kitete couldn't do house chores like the rest of the calabashes. All he just does is smile and just sit by the fire doing nothing. But Shindo loved Kitete, but sometimes he gets in the way, he's kind of lazy but doesn't do anything. It just moves around slowly. I don't know, maybe it's the heat from the fire. So sometimes Shindo gets annoyed. And one day, Shindo lost it and yelled at Kitete, calling Kitete stupid. She didn't even stop at that. She said, Kitete is stupid. She didn't even stop at that. She said, Kitete is stupid and nothing but a calabash. She literally called Kitete nothing but a calabash. And guess what? Kitete changed into a calabash immediately. It was after she said that she regretted it, and she started begging the other children to help her change Kitete back to a child. The children had mercy on her, and then, they sang to Kitete, and Kitete changed back into a child. And since then, Shindo never said nasty things to her children again. And even though all Kitete did was smile and make her happy, not doing chores, she left it that way because each child had their own strengths. And that is the end of the story, the Calabash story from the country of Tanzania. What lesson did you learn from that? We always have to respect. When we have a blessing, we have to protect that blessing, not call the blessing names, and also realize that each blessing is for a purpose. Each blessing is for a purpose. Each blessing, each child, in this case, have their own strength and weakness. And I hope you enjoyed Tales with Tosinger today. I hope to come to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends. And until next time, it's your favorite singer, songwriter, storyteller, Tosinger. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Odabo.